Kiki's got a notebook sharp as a blade, sifting through the chaos where the stories fade, flipping pages fast like a hurricane, clues in the dark dancing in her brain. She's Kiki 2025 true crime, breaking it down one thread at a time. Cases gone cold, but she's heating the line, coming in hot with the fresh new eyes. Photos on the wall connect like dots, maps and strings tie the tangled plots. Her mind's a puzzle where the truth unlocks. Every step forward, another TikTok. She sees what they miss, the cracks in disguise. She's got the angle, she's got the prize. She's Kiki 2025 true crime, breaking it down one thread at a time. Cases gone cold, but she's heating the line, coming in hot with her fresh new eyes. Zoom in the frame, enhance the grain, pieces come together in a mental terrain. Voices in the silence, they call her name. Kiki's on the case, rewriting the game. Yeah. Kiki's got a notebook sharp as a blade, sifting through the chaos where the stories fade, flipping pages fast like a hurricane, clues in the dark dancing in her brain. She's Kiki 2025 true crime, breaking it down one thread at a time. Cases gone cold, but she's heating the line, coming in hot with the fresh new eyes. Photos on the wall connect like dots, maps and strings tie the tangled plots. Her mind's a
Hello, guys. Hello. Thank you for coming in tonight. We have a special guest that is coming on panel tonight to explain a lot of things to us, okay? Before we get going, I want to say hello to everyone and my new members. Hello, Kathy Gordon. Come on in. Thank you for modding. Hello, TJ. Thank you for modding. Hello, Justice Gary Wayne Sutton. Thank you for coming and being our guest also tonight. Hello, Mamal. Thanks for coming in. Lisa King, thank you. And Mamal's a new member also. Teresa Stott is a new member. Lisa King, come on in. Grace Paris. Let's see. Let's go on down the line. I really, truly appreciate every single one of you guys for being here and doing what you do. All right. I think I've got, you don't see some people. Now, we have both screens going, Grace. So if everybody wants to be on one chat, then try to find the landscape chat. That way we can all be together. But it likes you, StreamYard likes you to be over on both landscape and portrait now. Okay, so the main chat will be in the landscape if you don't want to be alone on the other one. Now, guys, I'm going to be dropping a link in the chat, but it's just going to be for our justice, okay? She's going to come on panel with me tonight and discuss this case. This case has been going for a long, long time and a lot of struggles that they've had, okay? I covered it when I first started, but like I said, I told her that I didn't feel like I did it justice because I was new to, YouTube and really didn't know much about the case when I started. So let's go ahead and do our disclaimer because we will be playing some videos before I bring her up. Just to introduce the case since it's new to you guys, because I don't think that most of you weren't on here. I think Grace was, but most of you weren't when I started this. But we're going to pull our Fair Use Act up. At times, this channel may make use of copyrighted material in accordance with the Fair Use Act. We use this channel for commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, education, teaching, and or scholarship. We do, guys, have to remember that when we talk about these kids, when we talk about these true crime cases, we are literally talking about people's lives, okay? So we need to be very respectful. Normally, I'm doing missing kids cases, right? And I'm going to continue. We will not forget about the missing kids. But Gary Wayne Sutton, guys. Hello, YouTuber. Come on in. Gary Wayne Sutton is on death row. His family is stating that he is innocent. They have pleaded. Hello, Leslie, keeping it real. Thank you for coming in. So we will start by, I'm going to go ahead and pull her up on panel. Please, no one else click on this link. But I'm going to pull Justice up really quick. And I got to figure out what I'm doing because I've never done this. I think I done it one time with Lolly and that was it. But we're going to copy. Let's see if I can paste it in the chat. Let's see if I can paste it. Hello, Daisy Duke. Come on in. Okay. Justice, if you could click on that link, we'll bring you up before we start our videos. Please, no one else click on the link. It will notify me. You don't know this case, YouTuber. It's very, when I say there's a lot of twists and turns, there's so many twists and turns in this. Hello, Christy Smith. Okay, Justice, are you in the back chat? Can you get it pulled up? Not sure if she's seeing it. Let's see. Let me text her real quick. Hey, Daisy Duke. I tried to mod you again, Daisy Duke, in both names, and it's not letting me. I've got to see what's going on. But thank you for becoming a member. I noticed that. And this was a last minute thing, guys. If we can't get her pulled up, hello, Franklin Ben. Okay, Carolyn, I see you. Do you want your camera on or not, Carolyn? Okay, you're good with coming up on screen? No, can you hide your camera for me? Is it giving you an option? There you go. Okay, couldn't hear you. Let's pull you up. Okay, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I'm going to do an introduction with the video first, Carolyn. Everybody welcome Carolyn, please. She is one of the family members of Gary, very close to Gary. She talks to him all the time and visits him often, and she's been fighting for justice for him. Okay? Thank you for hitting that thumbs up, guys. We want to get this out there because there's only a limited amount of time that Gary has. Okay? So let's play a video. Carolyn, if you will just mute while I play the video, then I'll come back and I'm going to let you introduce yourself and such. Thank you for doing that. Sorry it was last minute me getting you to come on. But let's play. We're going to play two different things. We're going to play a short and a video, and then we're going to talk about things and let Carolyn explain what's pretty much what's going on, okay? Thank you guys for joining me. Let's push play on this. And this is Gary. This was back in 1992, if I'm not mistaken.
To the electric chair in the late 90s. Tennessee isn't executing anybody right now, but once they start back up, he could be next.
And they
Gary tells
are
me he didn't
as
kill
of right
his
now.
best friend, Tommy Griffin, and he didn't kill Tommy's sister, Connie Branham, either. Heather Cohen, a private investigator from Nashville who's worked numerous high-profile cases, says she's tracked down key witnesses and jurors who don't think there's enough evidence to prove Gary killed anyone.
Barbara Gordon was one of the first witnesses that I spoke with. She was a key witness in the case. And one of the first things she said to me was that she had lost
Carolyn,
sleep
thank you for
because
joining.
she was not sure that the white truck that she saw that day was James Dillinger's. And she really felt like, more or less, they put words in her mouth.
Yes,
A Blount County
Heather, that
jury
was
sent
Sebastian's
Gary Wayne
group.
Sutton to the electric chair in the late 90s. Tennessee isn't executing anybody right now, but once they start back up, he could be next. Gary tells me he didn't kill his best friend, Tommy Griffin, and he didn't kill Tommy's sister, Connie Branham, either. Heather Cohen, a private investigator from Nashville who's worked numerous high-profile cases, says she's tracked down key witnesses and jurors who don't think there's enough evidence to prove Gary killed anyone.
Barbara Gordon was one of the first witnesses that I spoke with. She was a key witness in the case. And one of the first things she said to me was that she had lost sleep because she was not sure that the white truck that she saw that day was James Dillinger's. And she really felt like, more or less, they put words in her mouth.
A Blount County jury sent Gary Wayne Sutton to the electric chair in the late 90s. Tennessee isn't executing anybody right now, but once they start back up, he could be next. Gary tells me he didn't kill his best friend, Tommy Griffin, and he didn't kill Tommy's sister, Connie Branham, either. Heather Cohen, a private investigator from Nashville who's worked numerous high-profile cases, says she's tracked down key witnesses and jurors who don't think there's enough evidence to prove Gary killed anyone.
Barbara Gordon was one of the first witnesses that I spoke with. She was a key witness in the case. And
Okay, guys, sorry. I think that repeated itself, but thank you guys for joining us. Carolyn, you can come on and unmute, honey. I'm going to let Carolyn start off explaining a little about Gary and the case, guys, because she's the closest to him, and she's been working on this for years. She also has a TikTok channel, and we can drop her link in my chat. She also, I think, has a Facebook. So, Carolyn, you go ahead, and I'll mute, and you go ahead. Who is Gary to you?
Gary, I was his girlfriend back at the time, and we have reconnected in the last 5 years. So, I guess he's my boyfriend again.
Okay. You go ahead and explain a little. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You go ahead and explain a little about how the situation came about. You were with him the night that they said he allegedly done all this, right?
Yes, I was with him that weekend, and I was his alibi. But my statement didn't matter. They tried to say that I was dating him and was in love with him, and I would say anything for him, but that was not the case. And I even told him if I thought or knew that he had done anything, I would not be his alibi. But I wasn't his only alibi for that whole weekend. Gary had multiple alibis, but they just didn't care because it was either family member or friends, and they just kind of blew through our statements in court. I do want people to understand that innocent people do get convicted. You may think that it doesn't happen, but it does. And Gary is one. The system got this one wrong. Will they ever admit to that? No, but I have to fight. We have to fight for Gary's life. Gary has a date, and it's exactly 1 year from today. So we have 12 months to get his story out. So I was with Gary the weekend that all this happened. Him and Tommy were best friends. He was accused of Okay, I'm so used to TikTok. Do I have to say unaliving on this platform, or can I just say what I need to say?
You have to kind of, do unaliving and then make up words. And Grace also,
Okay,
after you get done explaining, Grace has a good question for you too there.
okay, okay. So anyway, so I was with him that weekend. Gary and Tommy and his uncle had been uh running around all day. They went to the bar that afternoon. They left the bar. When they left the bar, they stopped by a convenience store. While they were at this convenience store, Tommy ran into some random girl. We still to this day don't know who that person was. And he left with her. So after they parted ways at the convenience store, Gary came and picked me up at his brother's house, and we went from his brother's house to his uncle's house. While we were there, his there was someone that came and beating on the door, and that ended up being Connie's daughter. That Tommy's trailer was on fire. Where was Tommy? So they knew first off to run there because they knew that they would know it was. They figured that Tommy was probably there, but they knew that they would know where Tommy was at. So me and Gary was sitting on the couch. His uncle's wife answered the door, and he was behind, and his uncle was behind her. So she screamed and asked, "Where's Tommy? Where's Tommy? His trailer's on fire." But they said he's in Blount County. He was some girl. He'll be back later, or we'll see him in the morning. He just left with her. So everything was fine. We didn't go down where the fire was because uh Gary's uncle and James's brother were having words. So we didn't feel like we needed to go down there and let them get into an argument or a fight or anything. So we stayed at the trailer because 911 had done been called. Um everybody was down there. So we thought nothing more of it. And the reason I tell that part of it is because when we were in court, they brought up, that we didn't even go down to the trailer. We had no business down there, more or less. But anyway, in the meantime, Connie's sister called and said, we need Tommy home. Where's he at? And again, we're telling them we don't know where he's at. He'll be home later, or hopefully he'll be home in the morning because he left with this girl. Well, in the meantime, she called back later and she said Tommy had called her from a collect number. We didn't know where he was. We didn't know if he was at the hospital because back then Sevier County and Maryville was long distance. So if you called each other, if you called from there, it had to be collect. So we called around.
Not to interrupt you, Carolyn, but for the chat, they're wondering. Okay, sorry. So Gary and Tommy were best friends, and
yes, ma'am.
And Tommy had a sister by the name of Connie.
Yes.
Okay, and right now, guys, hello, Brenda Sue, Lori. We're talking about a case that was from 1992. This is Carolyn, and she is Gary Wayne Sutton, his girlfriend. They had a childhood, crush and everything, girlfriend, boyfriend back in the day. And he has now been on death row for 30, how many years now, Carolyn?
35.
35 years, guys. And he has never admitted to this crime because he says he is innocent, and Carolyn says too. And yes, TJ, it's in Tennessee, honey. In Tennessee. You go ahead and carry on, Carolyn. And then if you can answer Grace's question, that would be awesome, honey. Thank you.
What is her question? I can't see the comments.
Oh, okay. It says, Kiki, did he have a prior record, meaning Gary? And was this in Blount County?
No, he didn't have a prior record of maybe maybe public drunkenness here and there, maybe a DUI, maybe, but no, he didn't have a record. And yes, it was in Blount County.
Okay. Thank you for answering that. We'll
You're
have a ton
welcome.
of questions, I'm sure.
That's
Um,
fine, and I'll answer the best that I can. But anyway, to make a long story short, Connie called and asked them. We found out that he was in the Blount County Jail, so she called and asked them to go bail him out. They went over to get him, but it was too early, so they told him to come back about 11:30, I think it was. So they came back, and we waited around. So then they left. They went and got Tommy. We waited. They went and got Tommy. When they came out of the jail, the girl was there waiting on Tommy. So they went and bailed him out, and he did not come back with them. He didn't get back in the car with them. So when they came back, they were like, "We couldn't get Tommy to come home." Tommy was like, they were telling Connie, they said, "That's okay. He'll be home in the morning." So that was it. We didn't think anything else of it. So Saturday came, Tommy hadn't came home. So Connie asked them to go with her. She wanted to take a picture over to Blount County to the bars and to the places that they had been, take a picture of Tommy to see if anybody had seen him, had he came back in. So they went with her, and they went to the bar, and they went to the store, and they went all these places that they had been with him at. Nobody that the people at the bar, the barmaids, they remembered Tommy, but he hadn't been back in there. So when they were parting ways, Connie told them, she said, "I have one more place to go look where I think Tommy might be." And they were going to go with her, but she would not let them. She said, "No, I cannot take you with me." And we still, to this day, do not know where she was talking about, where she went. But that was the last time that they saw Connie as well. So Connie didn't come home after that. So everybody was looking for her, wanting to know where she was. So that was on a Friday. That was a Saturday. We couldn't find either one of them on Sunday. So Monday, Gary and his uncle went to the police department to tell them what they had done that day, where they had been, where they had been, what expired that day, and they wanted to help find them. Well, they did that twice, not once, but twice. Well, in the meantime, the law enforcement is where they got their timeline. They would have never had any timeline. They would have never known anything where they were that day if they hadn't have thought that they were helping them, trying to find them. So that was started on a Friday. So that Monday afternoon, we got the call that they had found Tommy. Tommy was over in Blount County. He was pew-pewed in the back of the head. So of course they were like, "Man, we got to figure out what happened to him." And once again, they went to help try to figure out who did what and find this girl. So in the meantime, they still hadn't found Connie. We didn't know where Connie was, but we were worried because that wasn't like her not to come home. So after and let me tell you, when they found Tommy, they found him on a Monday afternoon. He was in full rigor mortis when they found him. The state needed him unalived on Friday night, but he was found Monday afternoon in full rigor mortis. Rigor mortis does not last over 36 hours. So from Friday night to Monday afternoon, it was well over 36 hours. But the state wanted to say that he was unalived on a Friday night because that was the only time that they could put Gary and his uncle with them. So we went on with that. Well, then they came and arrested them, and that they arrested them for unaliving Tommy. That was their motive. They had no motive for it. So while Gary was in jail, he got him a lawyer, and then no one was supposed to come and talk to him unless his lawyer was there. So this is where everything starts going everywhere because law enforcement, the TBI agent went and seen Gary when he wasn't supposed to, but in court they let that by. This TBI agent said that Gary gave him a 6-page statement, but Gary never signed it. But when you looked at the timer and stuff where they kept up with how long you were in and out of your cell, Gary was only out of his cell for 3 minutes. So this TBI agent was supposed to have an altercation with Gary, get a 6-page statement from him, and there's no way they could have done that in 3 minutes. So that's where that started going sideways. So from the very get-go, they started not telling the truth and putting a timeline together that they wanted, not what happened.
So did Gary have his own attorney, or would it have been a court-appointed attorney? Like they
in Sevier County, he had his own attorney.
Okay.
But he didn't fight for him. He did at first, but then when we got on into the trial and they were bringing things up that could have been argued and that could have been rebutted and everything, he just didn't get up and do it. So here's my thing. If you get in trouble in a county, do not hire anybody that works in that county. Don't hire the same people that work in that county because they all work together.
And also, Gary and his uncle had a trial together. They didn't allow them to have a trial separately, correct?
No, they're correct. They would not separate their trial. They said, and they didn't say it in Sevier County, but they did say it in Blount County because they tried to get separate in both. That if they separated them, they would have to let Gary walk because they didn't have any evidence on him. And this whole case from Blount County to Sevier County to the appeals court to today was nothing but circumstantial evidence, what they thought had happened. They had no motive. They had no eyewitnesses. They had no ballistics. They had no DNA. They had no fingerprints. They had no one that even identified them. I've been digging back in this deep for the last 5 years, and when his uncle passed away, his stepdaughter had about 6 boxes of files that she asked me if I wanted. So I did. I took them, and I've been going through those. These 2 barmaids that were at the bar gave a timeline that they were at the bar and left at 7:00. But then you had somebody, there was someone out on Alcoa Highway scuffling, but nobody could identify who it was. So I guess I need to back up. From the time Tommy left with that girl until he went to jail, he was out on Alcoa Highway with 2 men that nobody ever identified. When the law enforcement went to pick him up for public drunkenness, how Tommy even got to jail, he was on the back of a pickup truck with 2 men, but they never got the men's name. They never got the license plate of the vehicle he was on. And on down the media, another police officer had a car that was over in the media going the wrong way down Alcoa Highway, but yet he didn't get any names or anything of these people in that car. But of course, there wasn't anything happening yet, but Tommy was with people that we don't know who he was with. And then that's when he went to jail.
True Crime Junkie asked, how long has Gary been in jail? He's been in there 35 years. True Crime Junkie, thank you for being here. And yes. He's on death row right now as we speak. And his family has tried everything they know possible to prove his innocence. And now, Carolyn, tell me about, if you don't mind, we got a lot to cover in this, so she can come back to, and I know she has a live. You're going to be on Steph Case Files, is that correct? At 8:00 tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Heather's going to be on there with us. So, I guess what people I need to say real quickly is that I was with Gary when this happened. I was his alibi. I was with him all weekend. I was with him when Tommy was supposed to got unalived. He did not do that. I was with him when Connie was supposed to be unalived. Me and him was actually not even in Sevier County. We were over in Knoxville that weekend. We couldn't even get him to go over there and get a statement from the person that runs the hotel over there to prove that we were there. So I was with him when all this happened. So he was in jail for a year at the county jail. I stayed with him I was with him through that. I was with him through the Sevier County trial, through the Blount County trial, and then it got to where I just couldn't keep going to the prison every weekend. I couldn't keep putting all my efforts in it. I had to go on with my life. So I walked away is what I did, I guess, because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he's got his appeals. They're going to see in the appeals court that this was nothing but bogus. And then he's going to say, hey, if we were meant to be together, he would get out and he would find me. So years passed, years kept going, and none of that ever happened. So I think it was 2022, I was sitting at my mom's, and it came on the news that he had a date. And then I was like, oh no, they can't do this to him. He did not do this. I've got to do something. That something was, I had no idea what it was, but I have been back in the picture going on 5 years now. And I've just been trying to get people to listen to his story. People to understand that, this whole case was, bad policing, bad prosecution, bad science, just a broken appeals process. And we just need the attention now of the public, and we're trying to get to the governor. When I came back in and I called the lawyer out of Florida because I didn't want to speak to anyone in Tennessee, because they all just seemed like they worked together. And then from 1996 on, Gary had a public defender. He had a public defender as well in Blount County. So from the Sevier County on, he's had a public defender, and they just haven't fought for him. There's so many issues, Brady violations, issues that there is other suspects that they just didn't go check out. The timeline's wrong. We had discredited medical examiner Charles Harlan. That was the one that came in and kind of put the icing on the cake and said, yeah, rigor mortis can last 3 to 4 days. And we had 5 other medical examiners saying, no, it can't. Even Dr. William Bass from UT Body Farm, he was on there and telling them rigor mortis cannot last over 36 hours. So we had all this, but at the last minute, they pulled Dr. Harlan in, and we had no time nor money to get rebuttal witnesses against it or get anything to help. So that's what people don't understand. We tried. And then the first one that was unalived was Tommy. So then it was Connie. So Tommy was in Blount County, Connie was in Sevier County. So you would think that Blount County would went to court first, because the motive for Connie was because they unalived Tommy, but they had not been convicted of Tommy yet. So we go to Sevier County, and their motive for Sevier County was because they unalived her brother, but yet had not been convicted of that. So that right there alone, they started their not being honest. And then when we went over to Blount County, they were able to ask for them to be put on the roll because they had a prior conviction in another county. So it all intertwines and it's all backwards, and it's just crazy. So when I came in, they told me we simply had to have new evidence. That's at this point new evidence. So I hired a private investigator. She came in. She didn't have to do much. She just had to knock on doors. She got the witnesses come forward and said that they took their statements and they twisted their words. One of the witnesses said that they omitted part of his statement because it would have ruined their timeline. We have jurors that came and said that they didn't want to give the young boy anything because they thought, they didn't think he did anything, and they wish that they could have separated them, but they didn't. So it's crazy, and it's so much, and we are out of time. We don't have time.
Yeah, I agree. Now, there's some questions in the chat that I got to address real quick, Carolyn. I'm sorry. Kathy asked, if you can say, I'm not sure if you can say on here or not, but where is Gary in prison, if she may ask?
He's at Riverbend in Nashville, maximum security. That's where Tennessee's row is.
Okay, so that's where they put death row inmates. Okay.
Yes, it's in Nashville.
Let's see, I'm going down through chat. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And guys, the case was very rushed. That was one thing that surprised them too. And I have actually an article about the medical examiner that was released from his duties because he had messed up allegedly on several cases. Okay. Grace asked, who was the TBI agent? I'm not sure if you can say that or not, but if you say it,
well, he's passed away now, and I say it on other things. It was David Davenport. I don't care to say his name.
Okay. And then let's see. Sorry, I'm going down through here. Brenda Sue says, very sad. Yeah, it is. It very is. It's very much sad. And my heart's been breaking for them for a long time. I just wanted to get the name out there. Kelly, thank you for coming in, honey. Y'all, please hit that like button. Share this out. Hello, Rick Young. Come on in. Hello, Daniel. Come on in. Some of y'all can't see these names. Hello, Women's Warrior. Because there's two platforms here. We got you running, Carolyn, on two different ones. Leslie, keeping it real. Hello. Yeah. No, Grace, they couldn't get it moved out of that county, from my understanding. Right, Carolyn?
No, we couldn't. We tried, and they wouldn't let us. And that's another thing. The local paper there in Sevier County, I went and pulled all their articles. There's like 142 articles on the front page that they ran saying that they were guilty for a whole year before we went to trial.
Yeah. Hello, Maui's son. No, yeah, Grace, he's been sentenced, honey, right, for a long time.
He was sentenced in 1996.
And then True Crime Junkie suggests, have you tried to take it to Nancy Grace, Vinnie Politan? I know you mentioned the Innocense Project couldn't do anything. Am I correct?
The Innocense Project, the Innocense Project does mostly all theirs with DNA. There's no DNA. There's no nothing. So there's really not anything they can do as far as the Innocense Project goes.
What they're wanting Governor Bill Lee to do, guys, is pretty much they're wanting his attention to please, grant Gary a new case, right?
Well, if he would exonerate him, that would be great. But if he would give him a new trial, that would be even better. Because it would, in this day and time, it wouldn't go to trial. They couldn't get by with everything that they did back then. It's not even the things that they did in it is not even scientifically possible.
Okay.
And so guys, either
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a medical examiner that really, in my opinion, messed up a lot of cases. And if anybody wants to contact Governor Billy, right there is the address, phone number, and such. If you want to leave a message on this case and say, please, please check into Gary Wayne Sutton. He did have an attorney, and he was going to have a second trial, if I'm correct, right, Carolyn? But the attorney didn't file the paperwork in enough time.
That's right. It was his public defender. It was his federal habeas public defender. She got his case in 1996. She filed his appeal, and it sounded like the DA himself wrote the appeal. She did not do anything for him, and he was granted a new trial, not once but twice, and she missed the deadline on it.
Daisy Duke says, how about Trump and have him help to get him out? He helped his friends get out. I mean, you can send a message. I mean,
I've tried, but the thing with Trump is he's federal. I mean, if he'd get a hold of it and come and talk to Bill Lee and say, hey, you need to look at this, you need to exonerate this, you need to that would be great. But he is federal. He has nothing to do with state inmates.
Right. Women's Warrior has a very good suggestion. I don't know if you've reached out to him. His name is Chris Madonna with the Interview Room. Have you ever heard of him?
No, it's what? Chris what?
Chris Madonna. And it's
How you
called
spell that?
I'm not really sure. The way they spelled it is McDonugh. But Women's Warrior says, Kiki, wonder if Interview Room Chris Madonna would have a look and go over it live and make some suggestions on what could possibly done to help him. So sorry, so sad. See, Chris Madonna, if I'm not mistaken, let me get this correct. Yeah, look up Interview Room, Chris Madonna. He is a ex homicide detective. Am I correct, Grace? And he's on Summer's case right now too. And he's with the Cold Case Foundation also. If I'm not mistaken, I want to make sure that, I'm saying it right. Grace, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
He is awesome. He is good. Yeah. I never thought about that. That might be a good start.
Yeah, I'll take any suggestions and I'll do anything I have to do. Like I said, we have exactly 1 year today. He has his date for December the 3rd, 2026.
TJ dropped Chris Madonna's link in the chat. So that'll connect you right to him. Maybe you can get his email and message him. Thank you, TJ.
Okay, thank you.
Gosh. So his execution date is set for December what now? I'm sorry, Carolyn. I didn't mean to overtalk you.
December 3rd of 2026, 1 year from today.
Wow. Gosh. Okay, guys. We're going to come back on. I haven't got a lot of time tonight, and Carolyn doesn't either because she's got to go over at 8 o'clock, and I'm sure she don't want to sit all night long. Yeah, just subscribe to his channel, Leslie says, and then get the email. I would try to do the email and try to email him.
Okay.
And if I'm in a chat sometime, I'm going to say, hey, Mr. Madonna, can you check your emails? But guys, say a big thank you to Carolyn for coming up and telling this story. And we'll be digging in. And I see that Lolly's sick with a stomach bug. You guys pray for her, please. Yeah, Carolyn, can you type your link to your TikTok channel in the chat so
now,
they can follow you? Yeah.
Now, Kiki, I don't know how to do that.
Okay. I'll look it up and I will post it in the comments after the live. How's that? It takes about a day
That
before
sounds
you
good.
can.
That's fine. I'll just tell you though, I don't know how to do this computer stuff, and I'm very surprised that I was able to hook up with you. I was so excited that I got on. But over on the other channel, those ladies over there, they help me out a lot. I don't know how to do half of this stuff. And then my granddaughter helps me, and she's not here tonight.
Oh, well, thank you for coming up. I really
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
you. And we're going to do this more often. We're going to cover the medical examiner, different things. We're going to try to bring awareness for Gary. You know, the interviews that I talked to you about a few months ago, I'd like to get those set up with you, with the other family.
Okay.
And
Okay, yeah.
I want to appreciate my chats, my mods. Thank you for everything that you've done. Please like, subscribe, and you can become a member on my channel now, guys. I'm monetized. Yay. But pray for Gary, please, guys, and pray that something happens with this case, please. Please, please, please. And Women's Warrior says she's dropped Chris's email in the chat. So that might help you out, Carolyn.
Okay, I'm going to drop down and see if I can't get to your chat. But I do want everybody to know our call for action that we're doing. We just need everybody just to call the governor's office. If all they want to do is say free Gary Wayne Sutton, that's all they have to do. Nobody's going to answer. You put it on his comment line. In the next few weeks, we're going to have a day where everybody just calls that day nonstop until they get tired of answering the phones and shut them down. And then in January, we're going back to the Capitol. So I'll let you know, Kiki, when all that's happening so you can share.
Yes, yes. And I'm willing to talk to Heather too, like we had spoke,
Okay.
if she's willing to with me. Hello, Angel Wings. Sorry you're coming in late. I'm sorry. Hello, Cinderella. Saying hi to everybody. Sorry. But guys,
I love it.
if you don't mind, hit that like, share button. Share, share, share. Let's get justice for Gary. Love you guys. Thank you, Carolyn, again. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat. If you can become a member, please become a member. We're going to be having some member lives and some discussions in there. Daisy Duke, I'm so glad your C word is gone. I was going to show you an article on the medical examiner, but I'm running out of time. We'll do that next time, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Lori, thank you for being here. And I saw a friend that looked like of Carolyn's also. I want to say hello to her. Judy, thank you for coming, honey. Thank you. You are welcomed in here with open arms. Thank you, guys. And I'll be doing some more talking with the family. Ask President Trump about freeing your friend. He cares about people, not votes. Thank you for the great live, guys. Thank you, TJ. Love you guys. Share, share, share. Let's get the word out, guys, okay? Have a great night. Please have a great night, and I'll see you on the other side tomorrow. Bye, guys.
$500 children in Tennessee. It's a mighty long way from you and me. 500 children, they're gone every month. I ain't never seen numbers like that. What could be going on? My goodness gracious, and we working hard to get you back home. Working hard to get you back home. Working hard to get you back home.